Zohran Mamdani, ever since he has won the mayor election for New York City, he's still getting a lot of heat from people. First they said, oh, there's no way this guy is going to win. Then he won, and now people are still giving him heat because they don't like the fact that he won. And in particular, Upper East Side moms are upset and scared and terrified of Zohran Mamdani. We are talking about women where, from my experience when I lived in New York, a lot of the women that live on the Upper East Side have nannies. They have a stressor taken out of their life because they're not even raising their own kids. The nannies are raising their kids. You can go to Central Park in the afternoon and see this for yourself, Monday through Friday. All the nannies gather together and the kids play. But they are so afraid. They're talking about leaving. They're thinking about going to Florida or New Jersey. Let's get into it. This article here is the damning one. It's from The Cut. From The Cut. The Upper East Side moms are not happy. They're scared. Get me out of here. Upper East Side moms are melting down over Mamdani. A 35,000 person Facebook group devolved into panic and infighting after the mayor election. Let's make this a little bit larger for the people in the back. Here we go. After the NYC mayor race was called for Zohran, that night of November 4th, the mothers of the Upper East Side began to panic. Shocked, one Facebook user wrote anonymously in the Moms of the Upper East Side group, also known as Muse, which has 35,000 members. With all my love for NYC, I can't believe 50% of the city voted for this joker. Wondering who's actually leaving. To where? Florida, ? Residents of the neighborhood synonymous with Gilded Age mansions and Tony private schools had voted for Andrew Cuomo, a staunch supporter of Israel who campaigned on a tough on crime agenda by a 24-point margin. The more than 300 comments responding to that anonymous post are full of mothers looking for property in New Jersey or Florida, predicting that Mamdani's promise to make buses free will lead criminals to sexually assault people and kill innocent passengers, and airing their worries that New York City is on its way to becoming a 1930s Germany. This is a class issue. In other words, the wealthy, rich women of the Upper East Side, they don't want to mix with the low-life people. They don't want to mix with the poors. We don't want those poors around us. We don't want just anyone to take the bus. Not to mention, a lot of those women have drivers. They have a car. A lot of them don't take the bus. It's really weird to me. They're acting like all of a sudden they're taking public transportation. This is where we're at now, folks. They're that terrified. Let's continue on. A vocal minority of the group members jumped in to debate these reactions and point out the Islamophobic subtext of the anti-Mamdani mania. It is racist to just be mad that your new mayor is a Muslim. Or they're asking, it is racist to be mad that your new mayor is a Muslim, which only led to further fighting in the comments. As more combative threads cropped up over the next 24 hours, some users pled for each other to get a collective grip. I want to say something about this here. I think sometimes people are surprised by this in New York City, especially if they've never lived there. But New York City is probably one of the most diverse cities and probably the most diverse city in the country. You meet people from everywhere, literally everywhere. And I think sometimes that people may assume that because it's that diverse, that everybody there is okay with each other, that everyone is welcoming of each other. And that's not necessarily the case. You still have Islamophobia. You still have other forms of racism in New York City with all of that diversity. Now you're just seeing it in a thread. Let's continue on here. Others posted they were quitting the group they'd come to for swapping advice on strollers and nannies. See what I mean? Not fleeing the city, one wrote, fleeing this group. By Muse. A secondary fight broke out over the many members posting incendiary comments anonymously, which forced the moderators to create an anonymous posting rules section over the weekend that read, "You may not attack or threaten other members while anonymous or ever." Facebook mom groups are notorious hotbeds of drama. A dueling group called UES Mamas has made headlines for explosive infighting over the pro Palestine and BLM movements. But one Muse member told me that she thought Mamdani's election had caused the most heated division in that group. When I first asked to join, one of its administrators told me she was too overwhelmed by managing the thousands of post comments coming through to approve new members. These are wine moms, the moms that sit around and drink wine all day. You guys have seen Real Housewives at some point, right? These are they have nothing else to do. A lot of them are not raising their children because they have nannies. A lot of these women have no stress or troubles in the world. They're very wealthy people. So they find things to get upset about. They find things to stress about. And they sit around and drink a bunch of wine. Who can we start a fight with today? The Wine Mom Club. I saw this also. There's a city in Massachusetts called Newton, Massachusetts. Is one of the wealthiest cities. It's right outside of Boston. You got a lot of them there too. Like the crime rate and everything in Newton is relatively low. And it's like they find things to complain about. They find things to whine about. That's Newton. You'll probably see that in Weston, Massachusetts as well. These are bored women who have nothing else better to do. Let's get into this part here. Robin Reeder, a single mother with a 13-year-old son, didn't hesitate to jump into the mix in response to a commentator who told angry members to get your panties out of a crunch and just relax. We are literally terrified that a mayor who won't condemn Hamas and won't condemn the phrase globalize the intifada is now running the city with the second largest Jewish population in the world. That came from a 49-year-old writer there. It goes on to say, Reader, who has appeared on Fox News as a parent concerned about migrant shelters and her son's screen time, seems to relish in a catty back and forth, especially with these Muse members who spew anonymous opinions. I think people rage bait a lot in that group. You can't come at me or expect me to have any kind of respect for your point of view when you can't even identify who you are. Reader says that she's now considering a move to Hoboken, New Jersey, as a result of Zohran's win. It feels very immoral to me at this moment to pay tax dollars to a city that just elected someone who would love to see my people murdered. So here we go. So now they're exaggerating. Zohran said nothing of the sort. He has even backtracked on his opinion about globalize the intifada. He's even walked that back. But they all of a sudden they don't know about that, or they're pretending not to hear that, right? So this is that forever the victim mentality that I was talking about. Everybody's out to get you because they don't prioritize you. It's a dangerous thing. Dangerous thing. Again, bored women with nothing else better to do. Goes on to say here, we're all looking for an out because I can't jeopardize the safety of my son. She's not the only one looking to flee. There are 360 comments on a post titled Where to Now, where members shared real estate agent contracts and bragged about their second homes in red states. One recommended realtor was Elise McLeod, who moved her family from the Upper East Side to Boca Raton during the pandemic. She told me she had a surge of inquiries from New York-based families looking for property in Florida since Mamdani's win. So if you live in Florida, look out because it looks like some of them might be coming your way. I am so sorry. I am so sorry for you. A lot of these women are women who don't know where their kid is half the time. couldn't tell you who the kids are hanging out with. Some of them don't know where the husband is either, but that's a whole other story. I had a coworker who was a nanny before. She told me some things. A lot of these rich people, these rich families are not happy people. They have a lot of money, but they also got a lot of drama because they don't have nothing else to strive for. It gets to a point where you become so rich, you have nothing else to strive for. And it's just like, what am I going to find to complain about? So remember that, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of these people are just unhappy people. And because Zohran said, we're all going to come together, they see this as an insult because he is not choosing to prioritize their particular group. And this goes back to something I said before. That whole fight from Bill Ackman about pushing back against DEI at the universities and, of course, the employers as well, that wasn't really about his disagreement with inclusivity. That was about the fact that his particular people weren't prioritized, right? So this is where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. It goes on to say here, April, who says she is one of the few Black moms in the Facebook group and asked that I not use her name, her last name, scoffed at those members of the group talking about fleeing New York. No, you're not, she says, just relax. The fiery debates don't make her want to leave that group because the group helped her find the best Montessori school for her son. Motherhood is political, she says, even if the group takes it too far sometimes. She finds any comparison between Zohran's New York and Auschwitz to be ridiculous, and she especially hates when members of the group who voted for Donald Trump say that Zohran is not qualified to run the city. She vented this frustration on a thread where moms debated the baseless accusation that the mayor-elect plans to implement Sharia law. It's always mind-numbing when folks bring up, for instance, Zohran's lack of experience when the entirety of this current administration are the least qualified. Most WTF choices arguably in American history and are the reason Zohran even stood a chance. So what I want to say about this, folks, first of all, for the Black woman that's in the group, heads up, bruh. What do they say about you when you're not around? What do they say about you when you're not paying attention? Something to think about. Something to think about. Wine moms who have nothing else going on, nothing else better to do. Now, what is Zohran doing right now? He's going throughout the city trying to meet with people, different people. I saw he was at a soup kitchen. So this is not someone that's not meeting with people. I literally see videos of this guy on social media every day meeting people. Even after he won, still meeting people. He went to the synagogues to meet with Jewish New Yorkers. I mean, I don't get this, right? So I think we all know what this is really about. It's not like he's one of those mayors that is avoiding the people. He's out there. He's in the streets. He's talking to everybody. And he hasn't even started his term yet. And he's still out there meeting with people. So it's just, it's still damning to me that people are more offended, these wine moms are more offended by the fact that he understands what is happening in Gaza and said that there should be equal rights for all. By the fact that he said, well, we can't really go after this because, there is free speech, etc. Like, they're more offended by that than they are by all those kids that have been killed in Gaza. Let that sink in. Now, he's not the only one here. They're not the only one. Listen to what Benjamin Netanyahu just said about coming to New York.
I want to ask you about the new mayor of New York City, Mamdani, who said very robustly and confidently that he would arrest you should you step foot in New York City. He's softened that stance a little bit over the last, say, 12 hours, saying, well, foreign leaders can travel wherever they like. Are you afraid now of going to New York City? Will you not go because of that fear, even though really he's got no means to back that up?
The answer is no, I'm not afraid. And the answer is what do you want me to say about Mamdani? I mean, what about him?
So this is another thing, right? Where Benjamin Netanyahu is one of the people that he said that he would arrest if he came to New York City, right? So here's the thing, guys. For years, I have watched people like someone like a Matt Walsh, etc. I've watched people say, don't focus on identity, don't talk about identity politics. But those same people seem to be totally fine with focusing on identity if it is a certain one. And that includes Benjamin Netanyahu. He wants to be a priority. He wants his people to be prioritized. He wants his people to be seen as we are the most important. And this idea of that supremacy, that this is all a part of Zionism. And the problem that is happening is that a lot of people in the US have woken up. They've woken up. And you can't put that genie back in the bottle. So these wine moms who are complaining, people like Benjamin Netanyahu, etc., if they have a problem with Zohran Mamdani, then they should just meet him outside. He's outside. He's in the streets. He's meeting people. While you guys are sitting back and throwing back wine and ignoring your kids and forgetting their birthdays, things like that, not knowing where your husband is, while you guys are doing those things, he's out there in the street meeting with the people. So go out there and meet with him and talk to him face to face. Why is the solution always to run? Why is the solution always, let us just get up out of here? These are questions to ask. These are things to think about. So Zohran is outside. And listen, do I agree with everything when it comes to Zohran Mamdani? Well, no, like I've criticized some of the ways that he's pushed back. I criticized him pushing back on globalized intifada. I criticized him apologizing to the NYPD. I criticized him keeping Jessica Tisch as the police commissioner. You got to hold people accountable. But these women just want to run away and go to another place where they will be considered the priority. And that's a problem. These are things that we have to call out, things that we have to address. So Zohran's outside. Those women need to go meet him outside. That's simple. That's simple. Hey guys, this was a Sabby clip. If you like what you saw, hit that like button and subscribe.